Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We are just getting started with today's severe weather threat and also a bigger threat tomorrow for areas like Wisconsin. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far. And we're just beginning to take a look at what could happen. So let me see here real quick. Get this information out. Got one person watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Possible tornado outbreak tomorrow for areas of Wisconsin. It's going to be a very rough day, including some major tornadoes. Don Wells, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, hello. Let's see here. I'm going to share this out real quick. You're on your lunch break? Awesome, awesome. We're going to take a look into our severe weather risk today and tomorrow. It's going to be some powerful storms that are going to be coming through. So just continuing to share this out. Hopefully we are getting some. We got some nasty storms, left people without power. Was that up in Ohio and West Virginia? I do gotta let my friend know what's going on, so I'll share this live with him later. Hey Drew, do you think today's could go in hands for Lincoln in Nebraska, and Des Moines, Iowa? Well, be more than happy to take a look. So let's go into our threat today. That is going to be for parts of Nebraska as well as parts of Iowa, Wilmington, Miami Valley area. Not too sure where Miami's located. Is that on the Nebraska side or the Iowa side? This could also affect parts of South Michigan as well. So there is that threat, maybe into extreme South Wisconsin. So taking a look here, I'm trying to see if I spot where Miami is. Lincoln, Nebraska City, Red Oak. I'm just gonna go ahead and also make sure I got the tags going on in this video. Make sure to like and share out this stream, guys, if you can. I do appreciate it. Oh my god. Hold on, guys. Sorry, yes, I mean Minnesota. One of the most target areas is going to be here in the kitchen, bathroom here. Alright guys, sorry. Just continuing to take a look here. Yes, I meant Minnesota. My apologies. Oh, up in Wilmington, Ohio, Miami Valley area. Hey, what's going on, SPC? So we're gonna really watch out for Wisconsin tomorrow. That's going to be the biggest threat for. They've already posted a moderate risk for tomorrow. That should be right. So we have pest control over here, guys. I'm just trying to get some of the tags out on this video. So let's take a look at our future projection radar here. We're going to take a look at our HRRR model. This is going to be our best timing on today's severe weather. It looks like storms start to fire off. This would be a late afternoon. So our first storm kicks off here near Beatrice area, very hard hit by storms over the last couple of days. As Beatrice, Nebraska, as these storms are going to be moving. Also, some storms forming near Fort Dodge. Possibly some stronger, maybe a supercell here near Iowa Falls, Hampton. Starts to become more of a line from Omaha to about Mason City in around 10 o'clock in the evening. And the storms really don't kick off until 11 p.m. tonight. This is going to be a late night threat for these areas. Some very strong supercells, especially here, parts of Nebraska. This could lead to possible late night severe and tornado threat. We're going to take a look at our tornado threat included in this risk today. It is a 2% risk for tornadoes in this area this evening. Not nearly as high of a chance. Could be more of a damaging wind and hail threat. But things can change and things can increase. I would say they're probably later in the afternoon going to give a little bit stronger chances with the National Weather Service. We'll also have to take a look at our other model and see if we could get some agreements on this. But that is a pretty substantial severe weather threat here. This there's going to be clusters of supercells, maybe some isolated supercells right near Omaha this evening. And it's going to put some large hail, damaging winds, and I can't rule out an isolated tornado or two. So this is going to push off into Wisconsin early in the morning. So lots and lots of severe weather threat here for parts of Iowa and Nebraska. Also in northern Iowa, could have that threat, and maybe even into southern parts of Minnesota. Definitely have to watch this. This is, like I said, going to be a late night severe weather outbreak. Now, we do have another area of severe weather that's going to be occurring today, and that is for North Carolina and Virginia up towards Washington, D.C. So we'll also take a look at that risk. Let's see. My got to get up in the morning. Appreciate you guys choosing my channel this morning for your severe weather news. We got 7 people watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll definitely have to take a look here at. So our biggest area for severe weather is going to be from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Charleston is included in this risk today. Also a non-zero tornado threat this afternoon for these areas. Washington, D.C., Virginia Beach, Jacksonville, North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, one of my favorite places in the world. Love the coast of Wilmington. Myrtle Beach, and Charleston. So some pretty big population areas, including Raleigh, Fayetteville, up towards Baltimore and Washington, Richmond, Jamestown, even into Charlotte, North Carolina, and Greensboro. So definitely could see that severe weather threat this morning or this afternoon. So we're gonna take a look at our future projection radar and kind of find out. We already have what looks like some of these storms already firing off here this morning. I'll get an exact timing of when these storms could really start to go off. Right now, I think a majority of the severe weather is already kind of ongoing right now. This is probably going to get a little bit stronger. We had some storms here in South Carolina that are severe, also in northern Georgia. Definitely have to keep watch. We definitely have some of these storms here in Virginia that are going to be strong to severe. And that's going to continue to push off to the south towards areas of New Bern and Jacksonville. But these storms by later in the afternoon do not look as strong. So we'll have to see what continues to happen. We'll also take a look at both areas with our HRRR model, take a look at the weather conditions, and yeah, 97 for Minnesota. Geez, that is hot. Drew, I definitely think it could be possible that you could get an enhanced area today around Iowa. It definitely looks like the possibilities there. Do you think that there could be today's severe weather threat for eastern Nebraska and western central Iowa area, mainly late evening into the overnight? Yes, I definitely think it's going to be more of a after dusk type situation here in Iowa and Illinois. This is going to be a late night threat. My guess. We'll also take a look at our other model to see if we have some um, suggestion on what could occur. So we're going to take first a look at our temperatures. Come on, let's not go there. We're going to take a look at our temperatures. In this enhanced risk zone today, we have temperatures in the 70s and 80s mostly. So nice warm conditions. We're also going to take a look at our dew points. One of our biggest triggers of severe weather, especially here. This zone right here has some very, very moist atmosphere this morning. 70-degree dew points, very conductive for severe weather moisture availability. Uh, let's continue to kind of play that out over a couple of hours here and take a look. So we're going to be taking a look for around the time that the severe weather kicks off, when we still have some very high dew points into the mid 60s. Right around here, we have some very, very strong uh, moisture availability. Also near Omaha, some dew points in the mid 70s for around kickoff on these storms. So there is that probability. We'll also take a look at our CAPE, our convective available potential energy that will be available this morning for this area. This is going to be our most unstable CAPE. Take a look here. CAPE values are going to be around 2,500 this afternoon. We're going to continue to watch that. The Cape here in Wisconsin is heavy, heavy duty, popping 4,000. This is going to lead up tomorrow and tomorrow's severe weather threat. Some of these Cape values exceeding 5,500. This is going to be leading up towards tomorrow's possible tornado outbreak across Wisconsin. So that is just staging itself. So definitely have some high CAPE values. Definitely have that convective available potential energy. Around kickoff this evening, we're going to have some stronger available energy, probably around 10 p.m. Uh, take a continued look here at our available energy, and yeah, really seeing those 3,000 CAPE values across here in Iowa, and even into the south of Omaha, some 3,800 joules per kilogram. So that's going to be one instance of some very, very high um, instability there into the evening. That's why that's going to be more of an evening threat for you guys in Omaha, as well as into Iowa or Nebraska and Iowa. We'll take a look at another condition that we need, and that is going to be our unstable cape. We're going to take a look at our one thing that we're going to need to not have for a severe weather outbreak, and it is completely void of it by 9 o'clock. This is going to be the strong area of possibly developing storms. This is what's called anti-cape or CIN. This is going to mean that there is no capping inversion that's going to stop these storms from rapidly blowing up here into the evening time. And we'll continue to look into our capping inversion that is in place, and for most of the late afternoon, that capping inversion seems to not really be in place, and it doesn't come into place until probably late in the evening for Iowa. Um, so we'll have to take a look. There are still some areas that I could see some explosive severe weather as the capping inversion near Des Moines still after 11 is still pretty low. We also need to take a look at our low-level shear and our mid-level shear. That's going to be telling us if there is that availability for. I don't know why the shear isn't popping up here. Huh? They sprayed. I told them to get the kitchen and the bathroom. They must have. They're pretty fast. All they need to do is, could be pretty speedy Gonzalez. I guess this one doesn't show my availability for the. That shows our surface-based SID. We're also going to have to take a look. This is going to really be the true telling story here for this possible severe weather here in Iowa. What about the wind shear that you need for severe weather as well? That's kind of what I'm taking a look at, and I'm going to have to use the other model to take a look at wind shear probabilities. I'm looking into 7 o'clock, so we have some storms start to fire off to the south in Kansas near Concordia around 8. These storms start to fire off here near Beatrice, maybe Red Oak. Taking a look at our updraft velocities. This will tell you which areas are going to be most favorable for these explosive, uninterrupted thunderstorms that begin to pop up. And it looks like around parts of just to the northeast and west of Des Moines. Just to the west of Des Moines and northwest of Des Moines, even north of Des Moines. It looks like it's going to be around midnight tonight. So 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. These storms start to fire off around Red Oak in Atlantic, probably around 10. And they continue to push off to the north here. Probably around 11. You're going to see some areas that have some explosive, severe weather that occurs all across, maybe into central parts of northeastern and southwestern Iowa. It's going to be right along this corridor around Des Moines, anywhere from about Lincoln, Nebraska to Decorah, Illinois. Iowa. Apparently I need another Mountain Dew to wake up. Alrighty. So we're taking a look. That's 18 hours out. So let's take a look at our other model that'll give us our final condition of. So it looks like we can also take a look at what these storms will look like on this model and see if we can get a comparison and some accuracy on what this could really look like. Some of these storms here in Iowa this in the evening time into the early morning hours. This isn't going to be as sharp in contrast. It's going to just tell you where some of these strong storms could be into the early evening hours around Indica, maybe even Toledo. So they're both in agreement that these storms are going to be in this area predominantly. So, and we're going to take a look at our possible precipitation, and there could be some very, very heavy rain that occurs here in southern Iowa, maybe some 4 or 5 inch rain totals by the end of this if these storms train over this area. Also to the south of Lincoln, could see some very, very high rainfall totals. Let's take a look at our other model and see what they say as far. Both of them are kind of saying this is going to be a later in the evening excuse me, threat, as well as a threat into, let's take a look here. Go to our previous model because that new one hasn't fully loaded. Once that fully loads, that we'll be able to get more of an idea. So we have our dew points. Both are in agreement here this morning that there's going to be some high dew points here. Closer to liftoff here with these storms this evening, you're going to have some very high dew points training around Des Moines up into near Beatrice as well. These are going to be very, very uncomfortable, unstable moisture that's going to be pumping into this area. Some low to mid 70s as far as the dew points go. We're going to take a look at the HRRR gives me some better looks at our mid-level shear, which is going to be right here. This is going to be into the early evening, mid to early evening hours, around 7 p.m. We're going to continue to take a look here as these. This wind shear here is going to be, this is your mid-level shear, 50 to 60 knots in some of these areas. Definitely some 50s around Omaha at the time that these storms start to kick off. This is going to be favorable for some mid-level rotation. Now, the true telling sign of if we get any tornadoes is going to be our low-level shear. This is going to, that's low-level cape, that's not low-level shear. We'll take a look at our bulk shear. This is going to be at the very low levels, and we're going to continue to take a look here. Definitely some strong level shear near Beatrice into around Des Moines. You want to see about for a tornado outbreak, you're probably going to be in the 30 range for low level shear. So we're kind of this area is going to be just under the threshold by about 9 p.m. So it could be a weak tornado that develops anywhere from Beatrice to West Union. Is why they issued that 2% risk. So we'll continue to take a look to see if that low-level shear does increase. And in fact, it does. Over towards Beatrice, you see these 40-knot low-level shears, especially around Atlantic, Red Oak. This is going to be our stronger area. This very strong low-level shear that's occurring. So this area could see the little bit higher of that tornado threat into the evening time, especially if we could get into some of these bigger thunderstorm. We'll also take a look at our low-level cape. Um, that's also going to be conductive for potential severe weather growth, and we have for tornadoes, you want to be around 100. So that's going to be just to the north of Carroll, or sorry, just to the north of Harlan and Carroll. You see some of these amounts here around that ridge, and so that's going to be pretty pretty strong low-level shear or low-level cape for the severe weather outbreak. This is when you get into the hundreds for low-level cape. That usually can give an indication that there is going to be some favorable conditions for some explosive rotating thunderstorms. I think it's going to stay low for a good portion of Iowa. It's a non-zero tornado threat. I think the best chances today are going to be to the west and north of Des Moines, Iowa, into the evening hours. We'll continue to push this here into the 14, and that risk does include parts of the Michigan area as well, with this really unstable low-level cape. Also, uh, our shear as well. So we'll take a look at our low-level shear in that area, and we do see some of that area that is got some very deepening low-level cape into the 30s. This is going to be just to the south of Mason City, sometime around 11 o'clock. Definitely 40 knot could be some explosive thunderstorm growth. So if you're in Iowa and Wisconsin, or Iowa into Minnesota, maybe extreme parts of Wisconsin to the south, also here towards Hastings, Lincoln, Omaha, definitely could be some strong storms today. And it's going to be late into the evening and the early morning hours. And then tomorrow is going to be more of a tornado threat for large damaging tornadoes across Wisconsin. We'll get into that threat too. Find out when that could potentially kick off. Thank you guys so much for already tuning into this stream. I do appreciate you guys joining me up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. It does help to be able to produce more content and help you guys out. If you guys share this out, hit that like button, and we can. It does help the channel, so sincerely appreciate it. We're also going to take a look at our max updraft velocity. This will be a real telltale sign here for storms, and they are showing around 11 o'clock. Some of these storms could be rotating, and there was some very high low-level shear as well as very unstable atmosphere. So these could be some very strong storms just to the south west of Lincoln, Nebraska. So we'll continue to see when those storms really begin to kick off. They start right around 10 o'clock. Some more storms near Wahoo and near Omaha, probably around midnight tonight. Also, some stronger storms starting to form around Atlantic and Harlan, probably around midnight tomorrow morning, early. Going to continue to push this out. Really long track supercells are possible for around Hastings, Wahoo. Starting to get here into Harlan. Definitely could be. Wouldn't put it past having a tornado or two down here near Hastings. That is usually an indication of some explosive thunderstorm growth. Some of those tops could be 40, in between 50 and 60,000 feet, and definitely have a chance to have a rotating mesocyclone. We're going to continue to watch these as this continues to progress. Seems like the best chance for large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes is going to be closer here to the Nebraska side, but I would actually say it's going to be this region here. From about Fort Dodge, Sac City, maybe even Des Moines. We can also compare that here with our composite reflectivity, and you see these thunderstorms here, really, really strong, possibly some large hail in and around Omaha. Go back here to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So Omaha, your best shot is going to be from 9 p.m. until the early morning hours. Just a little bit of FYI. Hastings to your south, some very destructive supercells. These are going to be the type of storms that could potentially cause a small tornado to happen. But also some very large damaging hail exceeding 3 to 4 inches could be possible. Get some more. These thunderstorms start to move off here to the north. This is going to be coming toward Beatrice. Omaha, once again, around 1 o'clock in the morning. Some very, very strong storms. Also some big-time hail. Maybe an isolated supercell in these lines here that train up, as well as also towards Fort Dodge to the north of Des Moines. And that's going to be pushing its way over towards West Union and Decorah, towards the Wisconsin line. So it's going to be a very active evening, one to very seriously watch as these storms are going to be still firing off way into 3 o'clock in the morning. And then the ongoing tornado threat is going to be very, very strong starting tomorrow for parts of Wisconsin. So I hope I gave you guys some kind of assurance, some idea of what could happen. Even some strong to severe storms around 3 a.m. for parts of Minnesota. I do think for at least Lincoln, Lincoln can definitely see these thunderstorms in and around the area be pretty strong in and around. I want to say in between 11 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Definitely could be that possibility. Some of these might be incredibly strong to severe. I think most of them will be out of the area probably around 3 in Lincoln. And there's some assurance on both of those for that threat. And so we should have the new model almost completely finished here. Let's do a comparison of where they're saying that these storms could hit. And they're kind of training right around the same areas. Definitely that stronger threat. We should have a new update from the National Weather Service here soon. This is going to be our greatest area for severe weather from Columbus to Lincoln. I think it's going to be more of the central parts of these areas to the north of Des Moines. But if you're in that slight risk area, this biggest threat is going to be uh, after about 9 o'clock. Let's see. Actually, it could start. Yeah, so this threat starts to kick off here in Iowa and Nebraska just around 9 o'clock. Some very, very strong supercells pushing in through the area around 11 in between Omaha and Lincoln. And some more possible supercells going to be moving in and around the Lincoln area after 1 a.m. So we'll also look at our new updraft velocities. No, that's surface-based cape, which could be reasonably high. So some of these areas could have some of that 100 joule per kilogram just near north and west of Marshalltown. Also near Fort Dodge. Definitely could get into the strong surface-based cape. Also our low-level shear. This is exactly what you don't want to see as far as this is very favorable shear this evening with this new update here for rotating updrafts. This bulk low-level shear is over 30 to 40 knots. This is going to be very, very conductive for explosive severe weather growth. From Lincoln to Des Moines to Omaha. And that is roughly about 1 a.m. So that threat really starts to increase right around midnight for some rotating thunderstorms. So we'll continue to push this up here, and that's all going to be pushing towards Wisconsin tomorrow. So definitely some high, low-level wind shear. If we take a look at our 500 millibar winds, also going to have some 40-mile-per-hour winds in and around the area. It's going to be even higher up with the winds. Significant tornado parameter. This is going to be most likely our best area for possible tornadoes. Kind of go our search here for this is going to be a chance for rotating thunderstorms where all the favorable conditions meet. This is going to be just to the west of Des Moines, Iowa. Yes, I will be live tonight, guys. Most certainly. So we also have that tornado threat's going to be strongest in between, probably just to the north and west of Des Moines. Fort Dodge, also down here towards Beatrice, possibly even Lincoln and Omaha as well. So we'll have to watch that. Right now it's only a 2% chance of tornadoes, but we'll have to see if that does increase this afternoon. Tomorrow, we'll take a look here real quick. Go back to our single site radar. Let me show you guys. So we get into tomorrow, and we have a possible tornado outbreak going on for Rochester, Minnesota, Clare, Wisconsin, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Wausau, and Winona, Michigan. Or sorry, Minnesota. So Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin. This is going to be our greatest tornado potential tomorrow. And that does include parts of northern Iowa as well. Large, possibly damaging tornadoes. They could issue a moderate risk for tomorrow. I would not put them past them. Oh, Lord. I don't think we're going to have long track damaging tornadoes today, Drew. I think it would be probably a weak tornado or two that develops today. Tomorrow's a different story. The National Weather Service has already posted a 10% tornado risk in this area for tomorrow with these black hash lines. That's going to be for significant tornadoes greater than EF2. So that's going to be Rochester, La Crosse. What is that? Stevens Point, Wausau. Any of these areas right here tomorrow are going to be under a very strong tornado threat for a possible long track damaging tornado. They were saying yesterday. So we'll take a look at what the SPC is saying as far as today's wind threat. That see if there is going to be chances for. There is also a severe weather threat for Minnesota and North Dakota today. That's going to be around Grand Forks. We'll have to continue to watch that as well. Mid-Atlantic, some locally Mid-Atlantic, it looks like that multiple severe MCSs from last night have diminished, and they're going to be roping out, basically. They're going to be kind of winding down. They just posted it as a precautionary. I do think that there could be some isolated thunderstorm development there in North Carolina and Virginia and South Carolina, but I think it's going to be winding down for the most part. So going on for Nebraska, Iowa, and Minnesota, a cold front sagging southeastward towards parts of central Dakotas. This boundary is expected to stall over Nebraska and Iowa. Focus for late afternoon thunderstorm development. Initial activity will be supercellular. So supercells can produce tornadoes. So just keep that in mind. Will likely be supercellular, but will move northward into colder boundary air layer and be slightly elevated. Usually that takes the tornado threat down, but increases our large damaging hail and damaging wind threat. Nonetheless, large hail and damaging winds are possible. By mid-evening, the storms are expected to be rather widespread along the boundary, and increasing risk for locally damaging wind gusts. So they will usually be forefront and honest, where what they think is going to happen, and they're usually pretty accurate on those posts. Now, I couldn't rule out an isolated tornado risk, but I think these storms are going to be more of a damaging wind and hail threat for parts of Michigan. But we do have that 2% tornado risk in that area tonight. So definitely got to watch out. Tomorrow's a different story, much different story. That's going to be more of a increasingly dangerous severe weather risk for all modes of severe weather. Large damaging tornadoes are possible from parts of Minnesota into Michigan as well as Wisconsin and parts of extreme northeast Iowa. But there is a 5% tornado risk for Des Moines all the way to Marquis in Minnesota and almost towards Minneapolis and Milwaukee. So there is that tornado threat, but the greatest threat is going to be over central Wisconsin, extreme southwest or southeast portions of Minnesota, and also extreme northeast sections of Iowa for a tornado outbreak. That is something we're definitely going to have to watch as that continues. So tomorrow, the areas that are going to be most likely affected by potentially large damaging tornadoes is Rochester, Minnesota, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Wausau, Wisconsin, and Winona, Minnesota. This has a population area of 1.3 million people that could be affected by tomorrow's storms. Now, not everybody in this area is going to see a tornado, but it's going to be in and around that area. Some tornadoes tomorrow could be extremely strong. Several tornadoes, large to very large hail, and damaging winds all appear likely, according to the National Weather Service. Where is Glenwood, Iowa? Maybe I could help put you in a better peace of mind for your family here. Glenwood. Where's the nearest city in Iowa that's closest to southwest Iowa? Okay. Take a look here. We have Greenfield, Corning, Preston. Taking a look here. Is it a really, really small town? Some of the really small population towns, you have to like really zoom in here. I'm looking at southwest Iowa here. Is it near like Shenandoah, Red Oak? It's called Glenwood, Iowa. It'd probably just help if I typed it in.
By Silver City. Silver City. Omaha. Down from Omaha.
Down from Omaha?
Yes.
Okay, so Silver City, Glenwood. Okay, I see here. It's right on the Nebraska line. So let's take a look here. I'll highlight Glenwood area for this evening. My apologies. I had to take a little look. It's on the Missouri River. Okay. So let's go over to our modeling forecast. That way I can give you a little bit of a peace of mind and maybe get some timings for you on if severe weather could impact it. If you're near Omaha, most likely tonight you're going to have some severe weather. Same with Lincoln. But let me see what the best chance is going to be. Go to our
What happened?
Popeye. Stop.
What happened? No. Tony in the bathroom?
Tony's hollering upstairs. Okay, so there could be some thunderstorms in the area as early as 9 o'clock. I wouldn't imagine that they would be severe. Probably some stronger storms starting to form in and around your area. Best chance is going to be around Omaha after midnight. Some of these storms could be extremely dangerous thunderstorms for large hail coming towards Omaha. But looks like the most of the severe weather for Glenwood, Plattsmouth, I think somebody said it was Plattsmouth. That's how they say it. So I don't want to be rude or anything. So Glenwood area, I think the storms are going to be to the north of you, probably around midnight. Dow City, I think it's a little city in Iowa. Yeah, we could take a look here at Dow City. Dow City in Iowa today. Dow City is going to be near, what is that? Denison. To the south, in between Denison. Gotta take a look here. If we go directly north here of Omaha. Come on, where's Omaha? Okay, so we go up here. Highway 59. Trying to find this. Oh, sorry guys. Sometimes these it's gonna be start getting out here in these maps. So we're gonna go Omaha up towards Highway 59. Dow City is gonna be near Denison to the south, west. Unfortunately, this map seems a little bit more complicated than the one I'm looking at right now. So this is going to be up here, I think. Yeah, Denison, Dow City. Alright, let's take a look here in this corridor. I can plot that out. Some thunderstorms start to kick off. That's going to be uh, 9 o'clock. Some storms could be starting to fire off. I don't think they're going to be severe, but they could have some gusty winds, maybe some small hail. Stronger storms here definitely could be forming around to the east of you. Maybe some larger hail. So definitely could have some strong storms in the area in between. I would just say be on the lookout. Some of these storms could be off by a little bit when they do form. It's not an exact science where these storms could end up, but it's going to be a general direction of these storms are going to be in and around these areas, probably in between midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning. So just keep that in mind. Some of these storms could be strong to severe. Also starting to look like around 4 a.m. that this becomes a pretty serious line of storms as this pushes to the northeast. So you could be dealing with thunderstorms well into the early to probably when you wake up time, 6 o'clock in the morning. Definitely could be some large damaging hail coming right towards Onwa, possibly into Columbus, Nebraska. East of my grandma and grandfather. Ah, gotcha. So definitely look out starting around midnight and keep it in mind that there could be severe weather in and around these areas all the way into the early to maybe even breakfast time area. I don't have a model that goes that far out. Right now, this is going to be our best accuracy as far as timing. Uh, I would I would say be careful if you're in these areas, because this is going to be some isolated, very strong thunderstorms, anywhere from Dakotas, maybe even parts of southern Minnesota, going down through this area here. And then tomorrow is the tornado outbreak for Wisconsin into tomorrow afternoon. So just keeping you guys. I think some of these storms are going to become much more organized as they push towards Wisconsin. It's probably going to be leading up into tomorrow's tornado threat for Wisconsin tomorrow. This is going to be our tornado outbreak outlook for parts of even northeast Iowa all the way up into Michigan. So guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. That is my 1 hour outlook for severe weather today. Hope I could help give you guys some information. Much love and light, guys, and I will be back this evening. Take care and have a good one.